When people hear the name Jesus, they tend to expect certain things. Miracles, wisdom, maybe a halo. But let me tell you, it wasn't always like that. Not by a long shot. There I was, standing on Mount Olive, overlooking Jerusalem. Beautiful city, really. Golden in the sunset, the temple gleaming, people scurrying about like ants. But all I could see was the suffering, the injustice. And let me tell you, it was weighing on me. Heavy. I mean, here I am, supposed to be this, savior? And I'm looking at this city thinking, what the hell am I supposed to do with all this? Not exactly the thoughts you'd expect from a so-called messiah, right? Ah, John, good old John, always so sure of himself. Must be nice.
Brother, the time has come for your baptism. True divinity, my friend, lies not in the heavens but in the hearts of those who dare to love beyond measure.
As the cool water washed over me, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was about to change. So there I was, wandering through Jerusalem, narrow streets, people everywhere, the smell of sweat and spices, the sound of haggling and prayers. I passed by a group of lepers, their pleading eyes boring into me, the weight of their suffering, it was almost unbearable. A child tugged at my robe, hungry. I gave him what little I had, but it never feels like enough, you know? And then I saw her, Mary Magdalene, just for a moment in the market. Our eyes met and, well, let's just say something changed. She was different, not just beautiful though she was, but there was something in her eyes, a wisdom, a pain, I don't know, something that called to me. Later that night I found myself in the Garden of Gethsemane. Quiet place usually, good for thinking. I had this vision, I guess you'd call it, vivid as anything. The world bathed in golden light, people united, no more suffering, no more division, just love, pure love. It was overwhelming, beautiful, terrifying. The vision faded, leaving me breathless. The weight of it all, the expectations, the suffering, the possibility, it was almost too much. Of course, visions are one thing. What you do with them, that's something else entirely. And let me tell you what came next. That was the real test. In that moment, between the vision and the dawn, I felt the weight of centuries. The hopes, the fears, the love of countless souls. It was time to choose. As dawn broke, I knew I had a choice to make. Follow the path laid out for me, or dare to love beyond measure, to challenge everything I thought I knew. Little did I know, that choice would lead me on a journey that would change, well, everything. But hey, that's getting ahead of ourselves. First I had to face the morning, and my disciples. And let me tell you, that was going to be one hell of a conversation. So, there I was. Dawn breaking over Jerusalem and me. I'm walking out of the city gates with nothing but the clothes on my back and a head full of questions. Talk about your leaps of faith, right? The road stretched out before me, dusty and unknown. Behind me I could hear the city waking up. Prayers, arguments, the clatter of carts. Life going on as usual, but for me, nothing would ever be usual again. I'd love to tell you I had some grand plan, some divine roadmap, but the truth? I was making it up as I went along. Following my heart, I guess you could say. And my heart, it was leading me straight to her.
I've been waiting for you.
Her voice. It was like cool water after a long, hot day. I didn't even question how she knew I'd come. Somehow it just made sense.
Yes, you are. You're here because you're ready to see the truth.
We talked for hours, about everything, my doubts, her past, the world we dreamed of. As the sun set, painting the sky in impossible colors, I realized something. This woman, she understood me in a way no one ever had before. Days blended into weeks. We traveled through villages, across deserts, over mountains. Everywhere we went, we tried to help, to heal, to love. There was this one time, we came across a group of slavers. They had these kids, couldn't have been more than 10 or 11. The fear in their eyes, it tore at my soul. What happened next? Well, let's just say it involved a lot of running, some creative use of fishing nets, and Mary wielding a mean right hook. Those kids, they got away. And us, we had to make a pretty hasty exit ourselves. As we ran hand in hand, hearts pounding, I felt more alive than I ever had before. More human, more divine, both at once. We found ourselves in these ancient ruins one night, huge stone columns worn smooth by time. The air was thick with history and mystery.
What if? What if everything we've been taught is wrong? What if God isn't some distant figure but love itself?
Maybe that's what I meant to teach. Not rules or judgment, but love. Pure, unconditional love. The way she looked at me then, it was like she was seeing into my soul. And you know what? I was seeing into hers too. It all came to a head one night. We were standing on this hill overlooking the Sea of Galilee. The stars, man, I've never seen stars like that. It was like the heavens had opened up just for us.
Jesus, I think I'm in love with you.
Mary, I know I am, in love with you I mean, and it terrifies me and exhilarates me and I think it might just save the world. As we kissed, it was like everything fell into place. The divine and the human, the spiritual and the physical, all of it coming together in this one perfect moment. And I knew right then and there that nothing would ever be the same again. For better or worse, we were about to change the world. You know, they say love conquers all. But let me tell you, sometimes love just paints a big old target on your back. Word spread fast about Mary and me. And, not everyone was throwing rice, if you catch my drift.
Jesus, we need to be careful. I overheard some men in the market.
I know, but what can we do? Turn back now? Her eyes, man, they were full of fear. But there was something else there too. Determination, love. It both strengthened me and scared the hell out of me. Every town we passed through, it got worse. Doors slamming in our faces, angry muttering, even stones thrown once or twice, and always the Romans watching, waiting. But you want to know the worst part? The doubt. It crept in like a thief in the night, stealing my certainty, my faith.
Jesus, stay with me. Focus on my voice.
Her voice, it was like an anchor in a storm, but even anchors can slip, you know?
My son, what have you done? This isn't the path God chose for you.
Master, please, renounce this heresy. Come back to us, to the true faith.
Their words. They cut deeper than any Roman sword could. The disappointment in my mother's eyes, the anger in Peter's voice. I can't renounce the truth. This is the path of love, of true divinity. How can I turn my back on that?
Jesus, we have to go. Now. They're not ready to understand.
We ran. Oh, how we ran. Through streets I'd once walked as a teacher, a healer. Now I was a fugitive, a heretic. The wilderness. It was like it was trying to scour us clean. The wind, the sand, the relentless sun, stripping away everything but our love and our doubt. Mary, what if we're wrong? What if this is all just human desire? What if I'm not the Son of God but just a man? A foolish, arrogant man who's led us both into danger?
And what if love is the most divine thing of all? What if this is exactly what God intended? Your love, Jesus, it's changed everything. It's shown us a new way.
In that moment, in that dark, lonely cave, I didn't know which way was up anymore. Everything I thought I knew, everything I thought I was, it all came crashing down. And in the rubble, there was nothing left but us. Just a man and a woman clinging to each other in the dark, hoping, praying that love really was enough to light the way. And you know what? Maybe that's all we ever needed to be. You know, they say it's always darkest before the dawn. Well, let me tell you, that cave, that was our darkest hour. But dawn was coming, and with it, a new chapter in our journey. We emerged from that cave, different, stronger. The doubts were still there, sure, but they didn't own us anymore. We owned them.
Are you ready?
As I'll ever be. You?
Together, remember?
Her smile, man, it was like the sun coming up. And I knew right then and there that whatever came next, we'd face it side by side. The journey back, it was like the whole world had changed, or maybe we had. The colors seemed brighter, the air clearer. Every person we met, it was like we could see the divine spark in them, you know? It was a revelation. Here we go, into the lion's den.
And more like the heart of everything.
Heretics, blasphemers, how dare you return?
We come in peace, brother, with a message of love.
A new understanding of the divine.
The kingdom of heaven isn't some distant place, it's here, now, in the love we share, in the divine spark within each of us.
We are all children of God, all worthy of love and compassion.
This message, it could bring peace to the empire.
It wasn't all smooth sailing, of course, change never is. But as the days passed, something beautiful started to happen.
Jesus, look, it's happening, just like your vision.
No, Mary, like our vision. The road ahead, it wasn't going to be easy, but with Mary by my side, with this love in our hearts, I knew we could face anything. We were ready to change the world, one heart at a time. And so, a new day dawned, not just for us, but for everyone. A day of love, of understanding. A day where the divine and the human walked hand in hand. And me? I was finally ready to be the man, the teacher, the savior I was meant to be. All because I dared to love beyond measure.